Hello, people from the station. John here. I'm going to give my preview for the game against Bournemouth tomorrow in Vitality Stadium. So, well, I think we're going to win 2-1, and I'm going to give my lineup. I'm going to talk about what Bournemouth strengths and weaknesses are. So first, let's start with that. I think there's three players that we need to look at the Bournemouth team. They have three dangerous players. They're not doing good this season. They are 14th on the league. They have the third worst attack. It really surprises me because they have the three good offensive players, and I'm going to talk about them. Well, their defense is not their strongest thing. They lost Nathan Ake, who is their best center back by far, and he's a really good center back actually. He used to play for Chelsea and he just went to Bournemouth, and Manchester City is also linked with them. So I think he's a very good center back, and they're not going to have him. So it's a chance for us to score goals on them, more goals on them, because he's their center back, their best center back by far. So I think that we should take advantage of that. Well, the three players that I'm going to talk about that we have to be like more dangerous about are first Ryan Fraser, a player we were linked with, a player we were linked to in the summer a lot. So his contract expires in 2020, so he has 6 months left on his contract, and we were linked with him just because of that. We thought we could pay like 20 million, 25 million. For those who don't know, he was the second best assister in the Premier League last season. Hazard was the first. If I'm not mistaken, he had 15 assists last season. Hazard had 16. So he's a very small player, hardworking, and the play that what he likes to do the most, and he likes to dribble and go and go and cross the ball. This is really what he does a lot. Last season, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he had over 200 crosses in the league. So he's a player who really crossed the ball a lot. Every time I look at him, he crosses the ball like 6-7 times each game. And last season, he was the second player who had the most crosses in the league, losing to Lucas Digne from Everton, the left back. And yes, guys, this is one. He also scored some goals. He's decent at free kicks. The other one I'm going to talk about is Joshua King and Callum Wilson, of course, the two strikers, which surprises me, as I said, because they're two good strikers and they have the third worst attack in the league. 19 goals in 18 games, it's terrible. We're doing terrible in our attack, and we have 24 goals in 18 games, and look at them. I mean, they have two good strikers. Callum Wilson has 5 goals this season so far. Last season he had 14, if I'm not mistaken. Joshua King has 3 goals this season. Don't remember how many he had last season, but they're always like a good partnership. They have a good partnership, and they score a lot of goals together. I don't know what's going on with them this season. I don't know. Well, but we have to take advantage of that. I still don't think we're going to keep that clean sheet because it's our defense. Joshua King and Callum Wilson can still just go there and score a lot of goals in our defense, because you guys already know how it is. So yeah, guys, they're not doing good at the moment. I think in the last 12 games they won 2, but what surprises me is that they played 2 games against the top 6 on those 12 games, and they played 10 games against, 3 teams in the top 6, including us at the Emirates, where we beat them with a David Luiz goal. We played terrible in that game, actually. We won 1-0. And they played 2 teams. They played 3 teams, actually, in the last 12 games, and from the top 6. And then the other games, they didn't play the top 6. And so they won 2 out of those. But guess what? 2 of them were against the top 6. Yeah, they were against the top 6. They beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and they beat Manchester United playing at Vitality Stadium, where we're going to play tomorrow. So it's really interesting because they do good against a small team. They do good against the top 6, but they don't do well against the small teams. I believe it's because they play in counter-attack when they play in the top 6, and they have fast players who can drive up the ball fast. Ryan Fraser, really fast. Joshua King, Callum Wilson, as I said, the 3 players that I talked about already. And this is what Manchester United also does, actually. When Manchester United plays a small team, they usually they have a defensive team, Manchester United, and it's really hard for them to break up those defenses. It's really hard for them. But when they play against the top 6, they always play in counterattacks. They have really fast players who can drive up the ball. Rashford, Martial, Daniel James, like really fast players who can do it quickly, and so they take advantage of that. They just go and score. Like the goals they score against the top 6 are usually always like that. And but when they play against the top 6, it's something harder. You have to come with a different with a different type of instruction to try to break those defenses, because they're going to park the bus and you have to find a way to score on them. And this is something Manchester United does not do well. Well, but it's not about Manchester United, it's about us. I honestly think, as I said, we're going to beat them. I think that tomorrow we're going, of course, first game with Arteta, and I think that we're going to have a lot of possession, a lot of passes. I think we're going to have like finally like a new face, guys, like a new ID, let's say. I think that we're going to have the ball a lot, pass. This is something Guardiola does a lot, and Arteta, I mean, he was there with them for 3 years and a half. And if Guardiola really believed him, if he really praised him, it's because he did what Guardiola likes. It's just common sense. If he was there for 3 years and a half, and I'm pretty sure Guardiola was teaching him how to do that, and he learned it well. Because if he didn't do those, if he didn't actually show that he could work with this system, with the passing system, I don't think that he would stay there for 3 years and a half, right? I don't think so. Possession, that's what you call. And well, I think that we're going to have a lot of possession in the game, a lot of quick passes, and trying to build up play. So I'm going for my lineup, guys. As a goalkeeper, Leno. I think everybody agrees with me. We'll go Bernd Leno, for me, one of the best goalies in the league. Right back, I'm going to go with Maitland-Niles. Bellery's not totally fit, so I'm going with Maitland-Niles. Well, center backs, as you guys know, Callum Chambers, as I said already, got a yellow card against Everton. So, I mean, we have a couple options only, and Rob Holding's not 100% fit. I don't think he's going to play. I think it's going to be David Luiz and Socrates, guys. This is what I think. It's unfortunately, maybe Mavropanos is going to play with in this game, but I don't think Socrates. I think David Luiz will play for sure. Maybe Socrates will not, but I would say I think that Arteta is going to put David Luiz and Socrates. I think he's the most obvious thing. Left back, I'm gonna go with Bukayo Saka. As you guys know, Tierney is injured until March, and Kolasinac is also injured. So Bukayo Saka is going to play. As you, a lot of you guys actually don't know, but Bukayo Saka, when he used to play for the U23s, I really like watching young football guys like young U23s, U18s, and even U16s from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka, actually, he used to play as a left back. Yeah, he used to play as a left back, and then he got moved up from left back to left wing because Xavier Amici, he doesn't play for Arsenal anymore. He went to Hamburg in the last transfer window, and he was a real talent. He was injured. He was injured last season, September 2018, and then we didn't have a winger, so we put Bukayo Saka there, and he did pretty well actually. And then Xavier Amici came back in January, and we were second in the U23 league. Everton won it, but yeah, Bukayo Saka, he actually plays as a left back, so I think he's going to be okay with it. He played left back against Everton actually, and he had a decent game. So I'm going with Bukayo Saka as a left back. Let's see. I'm going with Torreira as a DM. I think he was pretty good against Everton. Yeah. And Granit Xhaka. I'm not going to go with Guendouzi. I really like Guendouzi. I think Guendouzi is a better player than Granit Xhaka. But as I said, it's about the system. Yeah. I think that Torreira and Xhaka complement each other. And when Torreira cannot pass the ball, he passes it to Xhaka. So Xhaka has this distribution, which Torreira doesn't have. Torreira is more like a DM actually, which is why he plays DM, of course. And when Xhaka loses the ball, when he does those mistakes, Torreira is always there behind him to cover it up. And so I think they complement each other really well. I think it works really well. It's not about, as I said, who's the better player, but what system works the best for us. And it's Granit Xhaka and Torreira. And yeah, well, I'm gonna go with the right wing. Well, I'm going to say Nicola Pepe, of course. Left wing, I'm gonna go with Gabriel Martinelli. Yeah, doing pretty well. Of course, 18-year-old Brazilian doing pretty well in this league. I didn't expect him to come here and do what he's doing. He didn't have a great game against Everton, but I think it was just one, right? All the other games, he's just great, and the work rate is unbelievable. As a number 10, as a cam, center attacking mid, I'm gonna go with, well, there's some reports saying that Ozu might play. So I think the options are Ozu or Smith Rowe, to be honest. I think that Nelson can also play as a cam, yeah. He can also play as a center attacking mid, but I don't think he's as a realistic option. And Lacazette, I would love to put Lacazette as a number 10. As I said, I made a video about that, but I don't think it's realistic as well, because I've never seen any coach and a manager putting Lacazette as a number 10, so I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm gonna go with the most realistic. I would say maybe it's Ozu or Smith Rowe, guys. I'll just say Mr. Ozu, yeah. Away game, but yeah, let's see what he does. The last really good game that I remember from Ozu was actually against Bournemouth, where we won. Was it 5-1 or 4-1 at the Emirates last season? Mr. Ozu had a great game, him and Mkhitaryan. And yeah, striker, I'll go with Aubameyang. And of course, score, I think he's going to score. And yeah, guys, this is my lineup. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much. Come on, you Gunners.